So, Carrie, I want to ask you about this idea of media takeover, because after Elon Musk purchased Twitter, changed it into X, there's no doubt that he exercised some power there.
X, and you said in some ways, always. I feel like X, I don't know if anyone is on it in any capacity. I don't know if you're on it. And you're the only one? You're on it?
Democrats are absolutely freaking terrified right now, and for good reason. Their precious war machine, which is backed by NATO and all their shady dealings, is starting to finally crumble under the weight of its own scams. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's out there calling them out, exposing the corruption, and reminding America of who's really pulling the strings.
But I do believe that media, everyone sitting here at this table, if you don't agree, we're in for some tough years ahead. I do believe that we are not going to be able to be as safe or say what we want to. I don't think free speech is going to be as free.
I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott, stop. It's too.
And let's not forget about the FBI, guys. The very agency that's supposed to be protecting the people is looking more and more like the Democrats' personal attack dog. And now enters the room Elon Musk, right? The wild card who could pretty much blow their entire narrative sky high, guys. So Elon Musk, he's looking at MSNBC, guys. Now, you think the establishment is nervous now? Now, just wait until Elon Musk starts shining a light on their dirty secrets. America deserves a whole lot better. And the panic in Washington, D.C. is finally proof that change is coming.
New York Congresswoman and progressive superstar, if you want to call her that, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, went viral yesterday. This was after followers noticed that her pronouns were missing from her X profile. So where did they go? Well, 2 years ago, she apologized for not having them, claiming, quote, they fell off.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media, you are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. Any more than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon. Having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. Any more than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon, right? Like what we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East. You proclaim yourself to be a reporter? Like, that's nonsense. Like, being a reporter's hard. Really hard.
And guys, if you guys appreciate the content that we're delivering here today, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I totally appreciate you guys.
To Hawaii, while DNC staffers are just wondering what they're going to do.
The vice president has taken time off to go spend time with her family. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think she deserves some time to be with her family and to have some downtime. She has worked very hard over the last 4 years, and her taking a couple of days to be with her family, good for her.
Oh, Kamala Harris, she is done. She's finished, all right? She's cooked. Stick a fork in her, because this whole political train wreck has officially derailed, guys. After a ridiculous campaign that bombed harder than a freaking bad stand-up act, she's now jetting off on vacation, leaving DC behind like it's a bad crime scene. And honestly, guys, good riddance. Who's gonna miss her, right? I mean, this woman had every chance to win over moderates. I mean, hell, she could have freaking gone on Joe Rogan and reached millions of men and women, but nope, she passed that up by basically, you know, keeping her usual fake self. Dozens of positions on the same issues. No one actually knows what she freaking stood for. And let's not forget the cackling, guys, right? That unprovoked hyena laugh. I mean, like, who would have thought that was a good look, right? I mean, it's just crazy that she even got this far. Kamala Harris is the ultimate political failure. I mean, me personally, I think it's time for her to take that vacation, like, forever.
So, Carrie, I want to ask you about this idea of media takeover, because after Elon Musk purchased Twitter, changed it into X, there's no doubt that he exercised some power there. So how do you hear this even ingest kind of purchase of a cable network?
Good to be with you tonight.
Good to be with you as
Thanks
well.
for having me. I think that we should believe everything that is said coming from this administration. I don't think that we have the luxury to dismiss it as him being someone who's being funny or someone who is just being himself or that is his brand. X, and you said in some ways, always. I feel like X, I don't know if anyone is on it in any capacity. I don't know if you're on it. And you're the only one? You're on it? You all are on it? Okay. I've actually decided to take a rest of peace because it is not a peaceful place for me. And I know if in fact you don't agree with this current administration, most people can say that it's not a peaceful place. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an actual bid made to take on MSNBC, but the fact that it just can't happen.
Yeah.
Wow, it just can't happen. I wonder why you would even say something like that. Elon Musk is the very same guy who just bought Twitter only a few years back and relabeled it, renamed it, rebranded it as X after laying off and firing like 90% of the employees. Very similar to how Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy plan on firing probably hundreds, if not thousands, of federal government employees once Doge kicks in, the Department of Government Efficiency program, once that gets kicked underway. But I think it's rather interesting how this particular news anchor decides to let everyone know that she's taking some time off of X, as if X actually misses her. No one actually missed her. And the fact that she says it's an unhappy place, you know, that's purely her opinion. But for her to say that Elon Musk can't do this, I think that she will probably be sadly mistaken once it actually takes place, because I have a good feeling that this is actually going to happen.
And we just
can't.
not
It's not
officially
even
for sale.
Yeah,
we
it's not
should say,
officially
but
for sale.
The last
It's not
time he
even
mused
realistic.
about maybe buying something,
It's
he
not
ended up
even
doing it.
realistic in real life, but I do believe that media, everyone sitting here at this table, if you don't agree, we're in for some tough years ahead. I do believe that we are not going to be able to be as safe or say what we want to. I don't think free speech is going to be as free.
Now,
Oh,
Scott,
really? The very people, the very party that was trying to suffocate free speech, freedom of speech, the First Amendment, is now crying foul. Like the hypocrisy, guys.
I want to bring you in here because this kind of link to Orban, we don't pull it from nowhere. There was a former member of the Hungarian parliament who was writing in Politico who kind of talked about this effort by that government and how specific it was in terms of purchasing media specifically for propaganda. Do you hear why they're making that connection?
I mean, is the concern that certain media outlets would become propaganda arms of political ideologies? I mean, don't we already have that in this country at a large?
Thank you. I mean, like, what is the, you know, what is the CNN network? What is MSNBC? What are all these other networks that are literally just pushing and peddling propaganda 24/7? This is already in existence. The only thing that's not in existence is a propaganda peddling news organization for the right side. Hadn't seen that. It's incredibly lopsided already as it is.
Large scale. I mean, also, I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott,
of any platform.
stop. It's too early.
And you know, this is why she finds it. This is why she finds X to be the X platform to be an unhappy place for her, because as a CNN anchor, she's actually hearing both sides of the argument. Sure, there's radical left people on X. Sure, there are far right, radical right wing users on X. But the simple fact of the matter is that CNN is so used to peddling their propaganda, CNN is so used to peddling their agenda only and not hearing the other side of the argument, that I could imagine why she would feel uncomfortable in that space.
Just sit down. I've only been here for 2 minutes.
You're gonna be embarrassed when I tweet it out after the show, but
You
it's
cannot say that.
So-
That's not the case.
So
Who's
what
the
I-
source?
What I find, we've reported it on this network. And
It's
so-
not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your statement.
Scott, can I
but my point is
can I
this.
reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think?
I think it's funny how she wants to make her point, share her opinion, and this is typical CNN. Make their point and then not hear any type of rebuttal or counter argument or counter opinion thereafter.
I think that there should be this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies.
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because he's sane.
Because
did you guys hear that? She says she wouldn't be worried if Bill Gates bought MSNBC because Bill Gates is sane. Unbelievable. So you're saying that Elon Musk is insane? Like, where is the logic here?
MS in MSNBC
it was MS.
comes from Microsoft. It was a partnership between Microsoft and NBC way back in the 1990s, back when Microsoft was under investigation by Bill Clinton's DOJ for monopoly. I don't remember anybody panicking over MSNBC back then.
No, they definitely did. But yeah, continue. Well, like Fox was launching, MSNBC was launching. The cable news network was shifting. The landscape.
But isn't the issue that the left has gotten so used to controlling almost all institutional information distribution arms in this country that when one little piece of it, whether it's X or MSNBC or anything else, gets taken away, the panic is so outrageous. I mean, that's how used to the left is having control of all of it.
I don't think that that's an accurate assessment when you look at something like Sinclair Broadcasting Group that has purchased most of the local newspapers and local television stations and sends out distributed information that their anchors are supposed to follow for the correspondence. That is a conservative-leaning group. I think the difference, though, I'm not siding with Elon Musk at all here. The one thing to point out is that
heaven forbid she side with Elon Musk.
Platforms are not regulated right now, which gives them carte blanche to whatever they want right now. Elon is not someone who likes to be regulated. And so to buy MSN, he would go under some federal regulations.
Who's regulating CNN right now?
The FCC.
We're not a broadcast. It's cable.
I mean, I don't really think cable stations are under the same regulatory structure
that public airways
that broadcast is.
It's definitely regulated more than than Facebook and
there's
Twitter.
Still what she's saying is that there's still a litmus test of journalism that you have to pass. You can't come on TV and just make up things and say things. That happens on X. Please don't give me the eyebrow furrow as if you don't know what I'm talking about. It happened.
Dude, you got to be smoking something, or just you're completely just hypocritical and ignoring the dirt in your own house. People who live in glass houses should not throw stones, and you're talking about CNN never making anything up? You got to be freaking kidding me here.
Happens often on X. I can go and say the color is blue, and I will be met with so many disrespectful remarks. No one's regulating the N-word. No one's regulating the criticism. No one is regulating how people are treated.
How much government regulation of the First Amendment are you for?
Let me tell you something. If I came on here and I just started calling you all kind of names, do you think the bosses would let me continue to do that?
I mean, it happens to me occasionally. I don't know if you watch
it doesn't happen to you, but it doesn't happen for me. And I know that I wouldn't be able to do that. There's a level of professionalism in what we do here, because we are journalists and we adhere to something, at least morally. And there is no moral compass on this thing called X.
We're also having a conversation about a person who has the ear of the White House in a very profound way.
And that's exactly why Elon Musk buying MSNBC isn't such a wild idea. It's a necessity. I mean, mainstream media, dominated by CNN and other left-leaning news outlets, they've been basically spoon-feeding America fake narratives for years, propped up by liberals who think that they own the truth. Meanwhile, platforms like X, they're fighting to keep the free flow of information alive, despite constant attacks from the left screaming for more regulations in order to control what we see and what we hear. And so this isn't just about Elon Musk, it's about breaking the monopoly of biased news and giving Americans a real choice. We need a news network that's willing to cover stories without bowing to the liberal elites. Whether it's Donald Trump calling out corruption or the fight for balanced reporting, America deserves better. It's time to shake up the system. And if that means MSNBC buys MSNBC and takes over MSNBC, turns it into a truthful news network for a change, then so be it.
New York Congresswoman and progressive superstar, if you want to call her that, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, went viral yesterday. This was after followers noticed that her pronouns were missing from her X profile. So where did they go? Well, 2 years ago, she apologized for not having them, claiming, quote, they fell off. What does that mean? Words don't just fall. But there was no apology this go around at a time when many are blaming gender issues for the Democrats' big election defeats last week, including a New York Times op-ed. It's fascinating. You've got to read it. This was a liberal writer who wrote this, nevertheless, that Democratic voters felt betrayed by the Biden administration. Quote, they resent being labeled anti-trans for questioning whether it's right to simply accept what their children say about their gender, especially since those children often suffer from other mental health issues.
The backlash I've received proves my point that we can't even have these discussions as a party. Instead, we have a wing of our party that shames us, that tries to cancel people who even bring up these difficult topics, and frankly, shames voters. This is the same group of people who told us to defund the police, who told us that there wasn't a problem at the southern border, who told us that inflation was transient, whatever that means, and who told us that Biden was just fine. And they're out of touch with voters.
Let the left go ahead and panic. It's long overdue. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, definitely hit the like button for the video, subscribe to the channel, check out this video that's coming up here next or our playlist down below, and we'll see you guys on the next one.